I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Whoa, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Whoa, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Claggio, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond. As we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom. Here we are. Boy, Estes is a beautiful little town. Hey Greg, good to see you again.
Mr. Terry, how you doing?
It's really great.
Good seeing you.
This
is Kirk Bien, the owner of the
your shop.
Kirk's
Great
Mountain
place.
Adventures.
We're up here in Estes Park. You got a great shop here. Boy, it's packed. You got lots of stuff. Busy place.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got planned for us today?
I tell you what, we got something really unique. Kirk here is the only person that has a permit for Rocky Mountain National Park to be able to take llamas in. So we're going to pack in, see some of the areas that aren't really on the beaten path.
That'll be neat. You know, you've seen us before go to Rocky Mountain National Park and fish some of the places right by the road, because there are those.
Yes.
But today we're going to go up to the park and we're going to take a llama and get some of those less accessible places. And you know, we can tell them more about Kirk's place and the guide services and what we're doing after we get up there and start fishing. Let's get going.
A little anxious for fishing.
I am. I'm ready to go.
Great.
Well, we're gonna hike up how far?
About 3 miles.
About 3 miles, but it's probably like 10 miles up, 2 miles down is the way it feels.
Right. Piece of cake coming back.
How long does it take going getting up?
I think it's about 45 minutes.
About 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, and away we go. Let's get up there, we'll get our stuff on and see if we can find some of those Rocky Mountain National Park cutthroat trout.
All right.
Let's go, guys. Lead the way.
isn't this beautiful? You look out here. I mean, even if you weren't fishing, just to come up here and enjoy this, I mean, this is the most incredible Rocky Mountain National Park. It's really one of our nation's treasures, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
It's just awesome. It's just
Treasure is the exact perfect word for
It's
it.
just awesome.
So,
Kirk, this is now you're gonna tether the llama. This is a non-vegetated area. They like you to tether the llama here so they don't eat the vegetation. And you're just gonna tether the llama here, then we're gonna walk and work the river.
Right. There's not a whole lot of fish in the stream like this.
So you find it's pocket fishing.
Right. It's just pockets. You do a lot of spotting for fish before you even fish.
So you're almost always casting 2 fish.
Right. The wind makes it a little tough, but
Yeah, the wind.
there's one right here. You see him there? Right off the edge.
You don't have to worry about your 100-foot casts here, do you?
No, it's all about 10 inches, 10 feet or so, 10 to 15 feet.
It's all short line fishing for fish you can see.
Right.
Now they're not going to be giant fish. They're going to be brook trouts and browns. Although you do in the park have a chance to get the Grand Slam, right?
Right. Very, very good chance. All these up in here are all cutthroats. What they did was they killed off the stream and got rid of above a waterfall and got rid of
So all the fish where we came up here are all the greenback cuts, which is the only native trout to Colorado.
right.
It's really stealth too. You have to just move slowly and work the area, huh?
Right.
They spook pretty easy.
They do. They spook fairly easily.
But most of these fish are facing upstream now, so we don't have to really get down into a low profile.
Right.
It's time now for Terry's tackle tip of the week.
Now what fly do you have on?
It's called a foam ant.
So you're throwing a lot. Terrestrials are big up here, aren't they?
Right. Anything small and black seems to be the big for dry flies.
And you fish these mostly with dries, or you do both, nymphing and dries?
Mostly dries. And we'll do both, like when it's cooler like this. Sometimes they're not active on the top. We may have to switch over and start nymphing a little bit. We can get anything to come up here first, though.
That was Terry's tackle tip for this week, and now back to more angling adventures.
Try again.
Is that what you want me to cast?
That's right where you want it. That was good.
Look too
It's
far.
not a bad spot over there. There might be one that we're
By
not
the seam,
seeing.
yeah.
Right. There's the spot. There. Oh, he missed it.
I tell you, it's so much fun watching that little dry. You know, these are small fish, but you'll watch that little dry drift down there. Go ahead, try. You try the
You want
nymph.
me to try it?
Sure,
Okay.
go ahead. I had one rise to the dry, but he wouldn't take. So now we'll try and nymph through that
Try a
same
nymph
spot.
right through there.
All right, hooked up right away. All right.
There he is. The greenback.
All right.
Cutthroat.
And now this is what we're fishing for, folks. These aren't giant fish, but these are native to Colorado. They're just beautiful in color. It's the only fish, the only trout native to Colorado. And we want to try to get a really good camera shot of them. Let me get my hands
Get your
wet.
hands wet there, yeah.
Yeah. And we'll see if she can get us, if they can zoom in with the camera. If you can see that, the colors are just spectacular. I mean, they are just beautiful. And we'll get you more close-ups during the course of the day. We'll bring some right up close to the camera. These are just incredible. And when they get in their spawn, they're just,
Right. There he goes.
There he goes. That's the quick release. I'll tell you what, folks, these fish are just unbelievable. And that's the kind of fish we're fishing for right now. That's what we're looking for. You might get one a little bigger, but that's going to be typical, isn't it?
Right, that's about the typical size.
But we're up here fishing these pristine streams. I mean, look at the view. You're catching the native trout to Colorado on flies in a little mountain stream. It's just awesome. So now we want to fish this hole some more and move up. What do you think?
I think there's another 2 in there.
All right, do you want to try the nymphs since they didn't go to the dry yet? Or?
You want to try the nymphs here?
All right, I'll give it a try.
This is a 0 weight rod. So
My fly is just a 0 weight rod?
0 weight, so it doesn't have much.
Well, I guess.
There you go, that's perfect. Get it in there again.
I'm using a little 4 weight. And yeah, you know, that's the thing up here too. You don't need a big fly rod. And in fact, if you don't have,
chased it there. Did you see him come after?
I missed them.
Okay.
If you don't have any equipment at all, you guys can outfit somebody, right?
Right. We supply on our trip. Set. There you
There
go.
he is. Oh, I was talking to you and I missed it.
We supply all the equipment, the weight. Set.
There we go. All right, he's on. Zero weight rod. Little, I think it's probably a cut.
Oh yeah. Pretty one there.
Oh,
nice and red.
nice bright red cut. We got to show the cam. We got to get a close up. Oh, don't get in the
Where'd you
current.
go?
What kind of tippets you got on here?
We got 3 pound test. So.
Oh, okay, so we're okay. Okay, grab the. I got him. All right. Oh. Here. Let's take it
Hands
on.
wet there.
And I'm going to get this one up close to the camera so they can see it and bring it back. This is just an awesome fish. The brilliant colors, beautiful fish. Colorado greenback cutthroats. And there he goes, off to fight another day. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Not a problem.
That's awesome. That's just awesome. What kind of a nymph were we using there?
We're just going with a little tungsten. It's called tungsten bead and mayfly. Small tungsten bead, so it sinks down fast.
What's that, about a size 18?
It's an 18, yeah.
It's about 18, so small nymphs. The dries we use are they're larger than you think.
You're right. And most of the time you're going to be using a dry and you can catch them fairly fast. The water was cold last night, so it's taking them a little while to warm up. Later on here, maybe we'll get them to start hitting the dries. But they came up for that one that you had.
Yeah, and the reason they'll hit those big dries is because there's a lot of terrestrials, ants, grasshoppers, beetles, that kind of stuff. So, and they don't have much time to look at it. So you can get by them in a hurry, and it's easier for old guys like me to see that big dry and watch it drift. and without the strike indicator here, you'd never know you had a hit on this. It'd be impossible.
Just hesitate.
So you want to try this hole again? Maybe I didn't spook them. I don't know.
We'll see. I think there might be some more up behind that orange rock there.
Okay, I'll let you cast. I'm gonna grab my rod. So we came up here on llamas, Kirk, but you do all kinds of trips in the park, don't you?
Right, we do. We have backpacking trips where we provide all the gear, the backpack, the sleeping bag, the food, and everything.
No, those guided, those are always guided.
Those are always guided. And then we also rent out all the gear too if you wanted those.
So, and you were telling me on the way up, the long way up, it wasn't that bad. We took us a little over an hour. We hiked up. A llama carried our stuff.
Right.
But you were telling me that we're about, 3.5 miles up, but you were telling me that a lot of your guests are people who want to fish that day or the next day.
Right. Most of ours are all just want to go out, fish it right away. Don't want to go on the bigger hikes like this necessarily. Some of them will hike up a mile or two. It's always nicer to go a little ways off the beaten path and get into a spot where they...
Well, that's one thing with the park, that there's water right by the road, and there's water you can hike 8 miles up to.
Right.
You can really pick your trip.
Right.
So, and you know what we ought to do is we ought to give them your phone number and name of your operation right now, and we'll do it again at the end of the show too. So why don't you tell them how they get a hold of you?
Well, our number is 970-577-0790.
And the name?
And the name of the shop is Kirk's Fly Shop, or Kirk's Mountain Adventures too.
Okay.
It goes by both of them. And we're right on Elkhorn Street, on Main Street in Estes Park, where 34 and 36 meet up together.
I tell you what, I really appreciate you taking us up here and showing us this part of the country and all. I love the park to start with, but to explore parts of it, like we could have hiked up here without the llama, but we want to really show people that if you need something to carry your gear, and we had a lot of camera gear to bring up.
Right.
And so for us it worked out well, but somebody who wants to come, we're on a day trip, but somebody who want to come up overnight, they could have their tent and they could stay right up here and then go back the next day, or even day trips you can use the llama.
Yeah, we even do them on day trips there.
And it's kind of fun, walking up with the llama, and it's interesting, and you don't have to carry anything. You get to look at, I looked down this canyon, the snow's still on, a little bit of snow on the mountain up there through the canyon, and the trees up above us here. Oh, you got one on?
Yeah. I'm listening though.
Well, that's good.
There he goes.
There you go. There we are. How does it get much better than this? What elevation do you think we're at? Probably about 9,000?
Yeah, a little over 9,000.
A little over 9,000 feet up. We're still in the tree line. I love the trees. The barren mountain peaks above us. On the way up and the drive through the park, you see elk and deer, and Rocky Mountain National Park is truly one of America's treasures.
It is.
It's just fantastic.
No, you've got to go further up this way, a little further. Oh, we chased it. Try again. Didn't take it though. There you go. That's
on the dry.
we actually switched over. I was throwing a dry before. We switched to a nymph, and I'll let you hold that rod. And I switched to a nymph, and we caught some fish because he was catching them on a nymph. Then we had one come up and hit at my indicator. Just another little bitty one, but just beautiful colors. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous colors. And away he goes. I'll tell you what, anytime you see him come up and grab the dry,
It's a lot.
it's so much fun. You know,
Fun.
it's fun on a nymph, and I'm not a purist. We're all fish, however we need to catch them.
Right.
But when you can get these small fish in these pristine streams, and you're floating a dry fly, and they're coming up and nipping at them, there is something special about it. There really is. So I'll let you take yours back.
Okay.
Do you think there's more in here? Or?
Yeah, let's step up. Let's step up.
Step up a little?
Yeah. I think there's going to be one in this hole up here. A few of them.
And that's the way this fishing is. We catch a fish or two out of a hole like this, and then we move up to the next hole. You know, really all the fundamentals of fly fishing apply, just like you fish seams, you fish pockets, you look for water. They hold in the same kind of places. It's just all miniaturized.
Right. A lot smaller.
And actually it's a great learning place because you get to visually see the little seams and the places they hold, and they're so much more easy to point out and talk to somebody about. Here it's like having a little classroom.
All right.
Yeah.
A lot easier to.
This is a
To
great
fish.
place for people who want to learn fly fishing because they're going to catch some fish. And they're just going to have a good time, and they're going to learn the fundamentals of the river and making presentations in close. And they don't have to worry, you know, sometimes if people are learning fly fishing, they get so caught up in making the right cast and casting ability that they forget about the presentation and where the fish are holding. Here you can forget about that, the casting, because you're just flipping the line out and really concentrate on your presentation in the areas.
That's the most important thing every time anyways, is presentation most of the time.
It is. You know, a pretty cast has never caught more fish than a good presentation as long as I've known.
Right?
Still hitting that little Chernobyl hand. It never ceases to amaze me that
They'll hit that
size.
We'll hit that big fly. They are so pretty. He can't hardly get it in his mouth, the little pig.
Now he just got the tail end of it.
That was going to be a week's worth of food for him.
They're very strong. People really.
There we go.
We always like to take really, really good care of them. Make sure that they're.
There he goes.
That's the best part of it right there, just watching them swim off.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's
I love
awesome.
It. And I love to teach people to appreciate that because, you know, without doing that.
This river, even as many fish as we've caught today, we've caught just, I can't even count how many we've caught. You catch so many. A river like this, if it wasn't catch and release, could be decimated in a hurry because it's just not, it's not easy to reproduce and grow in this river.
No, absolutely not. These fish, at this altitude, are old fish, even though they're that small.
Oh, I know, they're very old fish.
And just to watch them swim off, and we haven't got them all named yet, but we know where they are.
Okay.
That's what the people come for.
I'll tell you what, we were coming out, we're actually packing out. I got my waders off and everything. We spotted these fish in a pool from up above. We couldn't resist throwing a fly to them. So Kirk's up there holding a llama. He's gonna wet wait for him. I'm gonna try to cast from shore. We're gonna see if we can get one more fish before the end of the day.
I think we can. They're looking pretty active. These are a little bit bigger fish too.
And they're just really feeding in that pool.
Yeah, they are. They're really, really, really active.
If I don't lose them in this, we tried to get this fish so many times. I finally made, Greg was gonna move down river, and I finally made the perfect drift, and he finally hit it.
Oh, and this is a pretty one too.
Yeah, let's get that so we can show it to the camera.
Oh.
One last fish before the end of the day, and we worked for it. We thought it was going to be easy.
I always want to be real gentle with these fish.
Beautiful fish, you know.
You caught him.
Kirk's up there watching the llamas yet. Well, you weren't going to move downhole. We cast and cast to those fish. We couldn't get them to go. You were going to move down. I said, well, you know what? I'm going to try to drift this nymph through there one more time. Second cast, I caught that seam, and that indicator just hung there, and that nymph just hung there, and when it hung there, he popped it. And just probably the first time we got the good drift through there is all it took.
That's all it was.
Yep.
Well, let's get him back in the water.
All right. Hey, we only got an hour and a half walk back to the car. You never know when you might have to make an emergency fishing stop.
Hey, listen.
It's kind of nice to throw the stuff on the llama too, and we don't have to carry it.
Yeah, and I never put my rod up until I get to the car.
Hey, Booker. Thank you, sir. That was great. You're a great animal. What a great animal. For this. Kirk, thanks for taking us out and guiding us today.
No problem.
You know, Greg, thanks for setting it up.
You betcha.
If you can get out to Rocky Mountain National Park, if you're up in the Estes part of Colorado, give Kirk a call, stop by, look on his website. The website, Kirk, is?
www.kirksflyshop.com.
And the phone number?
Is 970-577-0790.
Put those right up on the screen here. I tell you what, just if you come up in the park and don't catch a fish, it's worth the trip. If you just look at the scenery, the mountains, the trees, the wildlife. There's a deer right here behind us. But you know, just if you do want to go fishing and you want to just experience just a really great fly fishing trip, hook up with Kurt and get out here and join us again next time we're out.